destiny. What does that mean to have your postseason fate and where you got what seed you'll end up being in your hands?
Well, I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, I would say from the beginning we kind of controlled our own destiny. I mean, being from a team that was unranked to being a top 10 team in the country right now, we always felt like we were in control of our destiny. It's just now we have the opportunity to secure a regular season championship, and I mean, we keep having the same mindset, which is just to play one game at a time, focus on who's in front of us. The next game is the most important, and that's Clemson at home, and I mean Clemson at Clemson, and Clemson's a very, very good team at their place, beating Louisville and Duke there. So they have sort of a knack for beating big teams on their home court. So we got to take them very seriously.
Do you pay any attention at all of where you sit as far as ACC standings, potential NCAA tournament seeding? Is there any attention paid to that?
I would say no, not really. I mean, this team is just focused on winning. We know that, all those things will take care of itself. We just got to focus on winning the next game, and everything else will take care of itself.
What was like the hours after that Louisville game like? I mean, how many phone calls, text messages, and then going to the next morning? Like, what was the reaction to it?
I mean, it was big. I mean, it was a huge game, highly anticipated rematch. So after the game was over, I mean, everybody wanted to congratulate us, wanted to talk to us. And, I mean, the team did a really good job of just being smart and being safe and just, taking it all in. And then just the next day, the mindset changed as to, all right, now it's the next game, which is Clemson. Now we have opportunity to finish as regular season champions, and we can't let that slip away by just focusing too much on one game.
Did you guys watch or follow Duke's game against Wake Forest tonight?
I mean, me personally, I saw the end of the game. It was brought to my attention that it was a potential upset with Wake Forest, and so I tuned in at the end, and I saw that they won, which is, I mean, Wake Forest is a really good team, and so is Duke, so it was a really good game, all double overtime. But, I mean, after the game was over, we saw that the opportunity, the door opened for us to being able to finish this thing out. So we enjoyed the opportunity opening, but then again, we also realized that, we got to win to finish this out.
Curious, did a teammate text you, or did you see it on social media? Like, how did you see what was going on?
At first I saw it on social media, and then my dad just blew up my phone. Was like, "Oh, the game's on, dude. You watching the game? Are you watching the game?" And then I just turned the game on. I was like, "Oh, this is really a game. This is a double overtime." And so I watched it to the end. I mean, the game was really good. They both teams battled hard, and then Wake Forest came out with the win. And then I realized that we're the number one seed now, and we have the opportunity. And then I also realized that these games are going to win themselves. We got to still pay attention and lock into details on the next game.
What do you remember about Clemson from that first game, and do they seem similar? So long ago.
I remember that they're a very good defensive team. They play a very tight defense. I mean, they're in the gaps. They're strip defenders, and they're really offensively gifted. Everybody can score. Everybody can handle the ball. Amir Sims is very good playing at the center position, but he's more like a forward guard, so he's able to be on the perimeter and whatnot. So I know that that's that type of team that's similar to us. And I know that when they're at home, they're just like us. They're very good. They take a lot of pride in defending the home court.
Did people point out that picture, like your reaction when Trent's dunked?
I kept getting messages about that over and over and over again, and I even watched the video and saw myself, but I just knew that I was so caught up in the moment. I mean, it was just such an anticipated game. It was such a big moment. I mean, I kind of knew in my head what Trent was going to do, and then I jumped up just to make sure it was happening, and then as soon as it happened, I just lost my mind like everybody else and then just got lost in the moment. But, yeah, I saw those pictures over 1,000,000 times. But, I mean, it's good to see that not just me, but just everybody on the bench just being able to enjoy that moment and being happy for their brother.
Isn't that what's kind of cool about this team is, like, the guys on the bench seem as happy as anybody, Everybody wants to be on the floor, but you guys are as happy when you're not playing as when you are playing.
Yeah, I mean, I love it personally. I love the fact that this is truly a team thing. This is really a brotherhood. Like, I mean, you could preach about it, you could talk about it, but, I mean, that game clearly showed just what we're all about. I mean, from the Green Vipers to the reserves, I mean, everybody was happy for Trent. Everybody was happy for MJ. Whoever was in the game, everybody was just locked in as if they were on the court. Everybody was talking, communicating, celebrating, and just coming out with so much enthusiasm and energy. I mean, I don't know what else more I can ask for this team. I mean, they're everything that I want them to be.